Welcome. Well, if you're new to the channel, my name's Andy. In May of last year I split with my ex, and having nowhere to live, I found this abandoned sailboat for €400. She was in pretty poor shape, the engine was in bits, the sailboats were floating. I gave myself 6 weeks to get her back in the water and up and running, and I've been fixing her ever since. So if you like that sort of thing, why don't you like and subscribe and join me on the journey? Hit the notify as well, you get notified of new videos, and it's all free. Okay, so back working on Viscos. It's a lovely day, but it's going to rain later, so I've taken the opportunity to get these out and get another coat of primer on them ready, and it's already starting to go tacky, which is really good. So I'm going to move my car out of the way so the sun can get on it, and then we can get these in gloss and back on board. So, one job ticked off the list. Well, it's all glossed, and I'm hoping that the weather holds off, because it's forecasting rain and this stuff is still tacky, so I can't pick it up and take it inside. But it's all epoxied anyway, so it should be okay. While I was waiting for this, I've made this. This is for my window, so it needs another coat of the wood stain on it, which I'm going to again hopefully do tomorrow. This is, I think, dry enough to take inside, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, meantime, the forestay has been taken off. Here it is. This is the Genoa forestay, and we're looking at shortening it, but I believe it's also a little bit twisted, so there's a kink in it at the top here. So hopefully when we shorten it, that we'll be able to take that kink out as well. So just yeah, that happened over the weekend while I was away, so I'm hoping that this weekend we can finish it off and get it back on the boat. But at least it means now I can use my anchor, so I can put the anchor where it's supposed to be, which is the next thing. I've lent my dinghy out to my friend at the moment. When I get the dinghy back, I don't know whether it will show up on the video here, but there's a tiny little hole there. Below the rust-stained hole, there's another hole. That's where the new drain is for the anchor locker, and I've got to enlarge that, seal it with epoxy, and then I've got a cover for it to just finish it off, and I'll clean up all that rust stain while I'm at it, and clean up the stains on the side of the boat when I've got the dinghy back. So that's the plan. Moving on. Well, not overly happy with it, because I had to bring the paint in when it was still wet, but I've got the trim to do there, and there. But overall it's in and it's glossy. It's just not as smooth as I would like, because where my fingerprints have caught the paint when it was still tacky. So it's worse on this side, you can see it. It is what it is, and it looks 1000% better than what was there before. So yeah, it'll have to do, I'm afraid. So next jobs, I've got to tackle the trim basically around here, get that sorted. I've started to put together window frames, but I don't know, they're a bit rough. I'm no joiner, but it'll do. I mean, basically I've just got to fasten this corner here, but it's still tacky, so I'm just going to let it dry off. The weather's shit again. It's not raining at the moment, but it's going to again. So we've got another 4 or 5 days of rain coming. So I need to figure out jobs that I can do that are indoor related. But they're all going to make a lot of man glitter. So anyway, let's put the kettle on and we can decide what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Okay, that's the second one, rough cut. Is gluing together now. This one has had its first stain and is again rough fit. He's gluing in the corner, but yeah, not bad. This one's to do next. I think I'll start with the back one and then work forward. Okay, so all the windows, all the trim laid out ready for staining. A little bit of sanding to do, just to get rid of some of these little red marks from the pen. But otherwise, I think we're ready. It's going to rain again, so I'm going to paint them here, and then I'm just going to have to avoid touching them. But I think it's the best way to give them a chance to dry. Well, I confess that I've been feeling a little down recently. I've spent all this time and effort doing these window frames, and then the rain's come and it's been torrential and the windows are leaking. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to take the window off and rebed it and blah blah blah, and I can't do that till it stops raining, and it's not going to stop raining for 3 days, and I can't fit the trim until that's sorted. And I just got a spanner onto these nuts and most of them were loose, so I just tightened them up, as many as I can anyway, with just me here. So I'm going to do the rest and then hopefully see what that does to the leaks. I'm going to have to sort of dry everything off and just wait and see what happens. But we're due a torrential downpour tonight, according to the weather alerting system, which has just basically beeped at me to say it's raining, which is yeah, a bit of a surprise. I think someone needs to tell him it's been raining for the last 2 days, and some of it very, very heavy. So, but at least we got a warning system, eh? Yeah, cool. Well, that's the first window frame glued in place. So what I'm doing, because I need to take these off, because I need to tighten all the screws and rebed everything, I've got some epoxy, and I'm just filling the holes with epoxy, just the end and the middle one and the other end, and then I'm drilling them so it'll just sit on the bolts. That's the plan, and that way they'll be able to come off when they need to. Okay, so we have windows, and they don't look too bad, to be honest. And I'm no carpenter by any stretch of the imagination, which is why there's a gap here. I need to sort that. But yeah, not too bad. So, and they're just glued on, which means that they can come off when I need them to. So